Hello there. For today's video, I wanted to ask you a question and maybe suggest a topic of reflection that maybe we don't always take the time to consider. And this question is, what are internal rhythms? Do we have any? And if so, in what season am I in? And the reason why I'm asking these questions is because this is something that I've been faced with these past few weeks, and really trying to navigate them from a space of loving and of kindness. And that's in part why I'm making this video today, where I'm just going to share a little bit of my perspective on this subject of internal season, because I currently am feeling like I'm in my winter. And even though, my God, I wanted so hard to be able to produce a new sound bath for this Friday's video, or a new sound experience, it just could not happen. It really could not. I tried. I really did. And I would just want to share a little bit about my experience, because I'd like to think that it could maybe be helpful, and maybe this is the way that I'm supposed to convey the message at this time. And so this notion of internal seasons for me is just recognizing and acknowledging the cyclical nature that we all have. At least I believe that. Maybe we don't all see it. But I think the more that we tune into this possibility and this notion, the more that we get to sense it, and we get to see it, and we feel it. Because we are a part of nature, and nature has its seasons as well. And my perspective is that, society is very linear, and that it's like, okay, we have to do things in a very certain way, in a very specific way, and it has to go full force all the time. And from my own experience, this leads to burnout. I've experienced something very intense where I was just no longer able to keep up with the rhythm that I was in, because there was no season for rest or replenishing. And if we look to nature, right now in this very moment, it is winter. There's not much going on outside. And, the birds, very few of them, that's maybe the very little sign of life that I can see, and everything else is dormant, and I think that if we can lean into this possibility that we ourselves have our own internal seasons, then we can be very respectful and honoring of them. And then also just trusting that if creativity is not around, if inspiration is not around, it's okay. Maybe it's time to rest. And something that's so interesting for me to look at is how, when we start a new year, this is very bursting energy of oh, New Year's resolution, I'm going to do this and this and that. But then that also feels counterintuitive, because personally, I feel like this is a time where I need to slow down. I need to slow down and prepare the seeds. Actually, this is a great time for introspection, for examining what it is that we want what seeds do we want to hold, do we want to pick and choose and protect and nourish, so that when spring comes, that which we have culled and collected is going to be seeded with intention, is going to be nourished with that much more love, because you have taken that time to really examine what it is that you want to sow and then reap later on in the year. So that's what I wanted to share with you today, is maybe just consider this notion of an internal season, and then ask yourself where you are. And it could be that you're in your summer or you're in your spring, and wow, I mean, that's amazing. You know, every or maybe it's fall. Every season has its gift as well, and it means different things for different people. And I think that this, whichever season that we find ourselves in, the important part is to just really honor it, honor the energy that is there, because even though maybe in winter it feels like we're slowing down, there is still movement. You know, we're still moving forward, but just in a very shorter or smaller pace. And then in the summer, if we're in this very summer energy, then okay, it's moving a bit faster, and that's just what's, you know, moving along with ease and with flow. And you know, that has so much, it's so much of a gift, you know. So yeah, I think my invitation is just pay attention to those things and see where you're at, and consciously choosing to honor that season that you're in, and asking yourself what you might need, you know, for this particular moment. And then also with the foresight, I guess, of what's to come. So preparing, you know, preparing the land. One of the things that's bringing me an immense comfort at the moment is that, okay, I'm slowing down. I can't force myself to do the things that I just don't feel inspired to do, don't have the energy to do. So what can I do? And the thing that brings me a lot of nourishment is just visualizing what it is that I'd like to cultivate, really. And seeing it and feeling it, and just preparing the soil and the ground that is to be soon fertile. So that helps me a lot, and that is what's bringing me comfort at this time, when the judging mind likes to slip in every now and again and say, why aren't you making a video? Why aren't you making a sound bath? Why aren't you recording? Or why aren't you able to make a song like you wanted to? Oh, you know, it's it can be so exhausting to have that critical mind just looming over. And I'm sure that you all have experienced this before. So the more I surrender into this notion of an internal season and where I'm at, the more relaxed I am, and the more I'm able to move with ease and with flow through my different states of energy, because I do have moments where I'm feeling very creative and very excited and full of energy. And the fact of really just letting go and surrendering to these states allows for a very easy movement between each state, rather than feeling contracted and in resistance, because I'm in this winter season and I'm like, I wish. But now it's just this letting go makes it so much easier to move with the waves, because that is also another lesson of earth and of nature is that things come in waves and all things pass. So I hope that wherever you are, that somehow this video has been helpful to you or reassuring in some way. Maybe simply just letting you know that you're not alone, and reminding you that whatever rhythm you're finding yourself in, it's all okay. So that's my share for you today. I wish you all a beautiful day. I send you all so much love, and I look forward to sharing with you again, hopefully in sound, but not exclusively as it would seem. So namaste.